they may lead, guide, and direct us during this time, during this service. We just praise this in your son's name, Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
Well, happy Memorial Day weekend. We want to do and remember those who have laid down their lives, and that we may have this freedom to worship and this freedom to have that we have here in America that I think we take for granted a lot of times. And just many men and women have laid down their lives that we may be able to do that. We want to remember them at this time, this weekend. So as you go by this weekend, just remember the freedoms you have, and that it was not without a price. And so we just want to remember those and know that the families and ones who have lost loved ones in war and service for that as well. It is good to see such a great crowd today. I guess we're going to baby step back in. We've been outside, now we're going to be in here for this Sunday and next Sunday, and then we're going to step into the big church the first Sunday in June. Now, there's a little confusion when I sent out my text about us meeting tonight, reviewing Romans. Tonight we reviewing Romans. It's still just me live streaming. No services tonight. I'll just live stream that. We're having difficulties in the fellowship hall streaming last week. We had a leak and go outside. We thought it was probably because of the weather. We're finding out this morning it's really not. So that's one of ours close to a window, trying to pick up service to stream. So we'll play that by ear when we'll stream that from. We'll try to get that so we won't be interrupted like we were last week. And then fifth Sunday night we won't have any service because I'll get caught back up tonight. And then Sunday, first Sunday in June, from that week on, we'll be back regular service. Sunday school, Sunday morning, Sunday night, and Wednesday night service. So we'll be good to go after the first Sunday in June. Yes?
Are we going to do it since we missed communion? Will we do communion the first Sunday?
We can. Let's do that. That'll be a good opportunity for us to come back and have communion the first Sunday back. So let's do that. So Deacons, y'all have that ready for the first Sunday in June. Thank you, David. Yeah. Any other announcements or questions or anything before we continue to worship?
I wanted to ask the ladies to be thinking about a day for the yard sale. I'm thinking maybe the end of July, but y'all just kind of think about it and we can talk about it next week to reset it, because we're getting some stuff in here and I got a whole lot of stuff. I do too.
We can just host it
Really?
We could, now that we're not going to be arrested, we could have it anytime because we were going to do it outside.
And in here,
In
yeah.
here if we had to, so.
I mean, if y'all want to do it sooner, just the yard sale.
I was thinking,
I know people are still a little scared, you
when
know.
we sit in the sanctuary, we tend to sit by families. And here it tends to sit by age. Y'all notice that? The youngest ones are up here. The middle-aged
She's
ones.
like the oldest ones are in the back.
And the young at heart.
I got him.
I think y'all at the wrong table.
Do you want bulletins to start back on the first Sunday?
Yes, please. Yes.
All right, we're keeping on in the patriotic section. We're just going to turn the page over to page 646. My country is thee. Okay, we're going to sing the first and then the last verse. So, wonderful.
Thank you. to bless us with. Now, Father, it is a true blessing that we can come together again as your children, Father. I pray that you be with our pastor this morning as he brings a word to us, Father, and to touch each and every one of us in our hearts. At this time, Father, I just pray that you bless these tithes and offers for all of our kingdom, of your kingdom. In Jesus Christ's name, I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Lord, may God with the children first.
Sarah, over here. What is that?
It has been quite a while. I feel like we have had a special. And this song that I'm about to sing has been with me for a little while now. I feel like it's fitting the Memorial Day singing. So I hope you like it. Just a picture on the table, just some letters on the table, and the gloss you wrote from England on the back it has in gray. To Eileen, I love you, London 1942. And she never heard from him again, neither of me. And the war still ain't over, mama. Every night in her dream she still sees the young face of someone who left her, silver medals and sweet memories. Mama's bed roses to the city on her. There's a flag folded in the corner. I know myself, and the sergeant would surely honor to know how pretty she still looks. And then after all these lonely years, his Eileen still is. And the war's still ain't over, mama. Every night in her dream she still sees the young face of someone who left her, silver medals and sweet memories, silver medals and sweet memories. So like I said, it's been a while since we've had a special, so I figured we'd go ahead and pile them on. Go ahead and turn it over to, I completely forgot your name, I believe it's Chris.
We're the Mississippi folks.
Yeah, the Mississippi folks. Back there.
Please. Thank you. I trained them all.
Yeah, have the kids grown? We have missed y'all, and glad to be back. And
Jason, can you move?
y'all stand right there.
back inside of it. And, we got to have church at our church last Sunday inside, and it made me realize how much I missed being with my brothers and sisters in Christ, and we're glad to be here with you today. But you know, there's one thing we can say in the midst of all this turmoil that's going on in this world is, it is well with my soul. And I hope you can say that today. I hope you know Jesus Christ is your personal Savior, and you have the eternal hope and security of knowing that it is well.
chapter 2. Had a sermon a few weeks ago on Haggai chapter 1. Talked to you about Haggai. It's just a 2-chapter book, taking place over 4 months. But he has 4 sermons in there. We're going to look at the second sermon today. Excuse me. Just want to review the first sermon and so we can get on the same page. Chapter 1 dealt with that the Israelites had come back from captivity and then began to rebuild the temple that had been destroyed, but then they just kind of lost focus. If you remember that Sunday I talked about, it's like driving by and seeing a building that had begun building, and all of a sudden you go by months later and it's no progress. And that's what it would have been like if they would have begun to build the temple back and progress just stopped. And so Haggai was led to question them and ask them, why do you focus in on your own homes and not the house of the Lord's? And so that hit home more so than just the building. Focuses on our own lives, our own desires, our own priorities instead of God's priorities. Remember, we used Proverbs 16:3, commit your works to the Lord and your ways will be established. And we showed that they had committed their ways to themselves, and so they were building their own house instead of committing their ways to the Lord, where they should have been doing what God has called them to do, rebuild the temple. And so I believe these next series of messages had to come in a specific order because they had to realize what they were doing was wrong before they could realize what these other messages could bring. You know, that's like an understanding that you've got to realize where you're at in your life before God can teach you the next thing He wants to teach you. So I believe that what God says won't put on you more than you can handle, I believe it has more to do with that than the stress and struggles of life. Because with the stress and struggles of life, we understand God's going to put us on more than we can handle so we can rely upon Him. But He's not going to teach us more than we can handle. In other words, He expects us to learn. He expects us to grow. And so we have to learn God's Word. We have to apply it to our lives. And so that we can grow and learn the next thing that He has us to learn. So here we are, beginning of chapter 2. They're beginning to rebuild the temple. And Haggai has the second message for them. So let's see here. The second chapter of Haggai reads, in the 7th month, on the 21st day of the month, the word of the Lord came by the hand of Haggai the prophet. Speak now to Zerubbabel, the son of Shealtiel, governor of Judah, and to Joshua, the son of Jehozadak, the high priest, and to all the remnant of the people, and say. Others, remember we had that to all the remnant of the people before when they said they all rejoiced and they got stirred up. Remember that stirring up of God because He said God was with us. And so here's what He says, I want you to tell all the people, Haggai, from the top to the bottom. Verse 3 says, who is left among you who saw this house in its former glory? How do you see it now? Is it not as nothing in your eyes? Yet now, be strong. O Zerubbabel, declares the Lord, be strong, O Joshua, son of Jehozadak, the high priest. Be strong, all you people of the land, declares the Lord. Work, for I am with you, declares the Lord of hosts, according to the covenant that I made with you when you came out of Egypt. My spirit remains in your midst. Fear not, for thus says the Lord of hosts, yet once more in a little while I will shake the heavens and the earth and the sea and the dry land, and will shake all the nations, so that the treasures of all nations shall come in, and I will fill this house with glory, says the Lord of hosts. The silver is mine, and the gold is mine, declares the Lord of hosts. The latter glory of this house shall be greater than the former, says the Lord of hosts. And in this place I will give peace, declares the Lord of hosts. Well, bless the reading of His Word this morning. I want us to begin and look back at verse 3. He's telling them that He has this message, and He's telling them to speak to all the people. And the first thing Haggai does is ask them a question. Y'all know how I am about questions. You know, I love asking questions. So the first question is who is left among you who saw this house in its former glory? So I'm asking you, who is left among us? Who's here now who can remember what it was like before COVID-19. Hopefully we all can, because it's not really been that long. But can you remember what it was like to worship together? What it was like to see your brothers and sisters? What it was like to have fellowship, Brother Bobby? I don't know if we're going to be able to do that when we start back in June yet. We're going to have to wait a little while. But I'm going to miss it. I'm going to miss being able to go and fellowship and hug my neck and shake your hand and tell you I'm glad to see you. But it is good to see you here, and it's glad that we can fellowship now in the Spirit. You're not forsaking assembling yourselves together because you lift us up. You encourage us. That is what meeting and gathering is all about. If I hadn't preached today and we left after the song service, would you have been lifted up?
Yes.
Yes. Amen. So, I hope I don't bring you down. I hope we continue to get lifted up as we hear God's word preached and proclaimed to us this morning. But it's asking us, do you remember? And it's asking, it says, not only says to that, how do you see it now? How do you see the services now? Well, we're better than what we were last few Sundays. We're better than what we were on Easter. Oh, how that hurt me on Easter for us to have to do a live stream with just Austin, Jimmy, and me, and the ladies there from the church. Praise God we was able to do that. Praise God we was able to get the word out and to honor and glory Him. Let me tell you now, we're going to have an Easter service. It may be in July, but we're going to have an Easter service. And guess what was last Sunday? It was homecoming. We're going to have a homecoming service. It may be in August, but we're going to go back and we're going to do these things and we're going to honor these things because we can remember what it was like. And we know what it's like now. That's what He's asking them to do. As they're working, see, they've already started rebuilding the temple. Chapter 1 was them to get to realize we had stopped. Chapter 2 is they have started back. Now Haggai's bringing the message. And as they're sitting there working, I can just see Haggai preaching as they're working on the temple. And he's like, hey, let me ask you, all you guys that are here working, who remembers what this temple was like back in the day? And some of the older ones can raise their hand and testify. Some of you can remember what it was like 10, 20, 30 years ago to worship here at Ochlocknee Baptist Church. And then what it's like now. You know, we compare these two, we look at these two and we say, well, I remember we used to have so many that we had come and we had the pews packed and all these things. And we don't have that now. So we got to maybe get a little discouraged or down. That's what the Lord says this. It says, verse 4, yet now be strong. Yet now be strong. Be strong because we're coming back to worship the Lord together. We're coming back to re-establish the church. We're doing what Israel did when they came out of captivity and came back to re-establish the temple. You and I are being brought back through this virus, through this COVID-19, now that the church doors are open. Praise God, Trump went on this week and said that churches are essential. And that if governors had a problem with it, they could call him. We are essential. And if you've never worshiped in a church, if you've never been, you don't understand how essential it is. I don't understand those who come to church who don't view it as essential. They're just going through the motions, brothers and sisters. They're not experiencing Christ. They're not experiencing the brothers and sisters. They're not experiencing God. So we want to pray for those that they will come. And I don't think we have too many of those around here at our church. I think all of us, we're looking at getting back together. We're looking at fellowship, and we're looking at worshiping, and we're looking at being strong. Goes on to say, he declares to all the people into the land. And notice what it says right at the last phrase of verse 5. He said, be strong to Jerusalem, be strong to Joshua, son of Jehozadak, be strong to all the people of the land. And then there's just 4-letter word. Word. Well, sisters, you and I got work to do. Remember Proverbs 16:3? Commit your works to the Lord, your ways will be established. See, their work that they had to do before they committed to themselves. That's why they were working on their own houses. That's why they forgot about the temple. I can just start to see then it just started dwindling. You know, they probably had 100 people working on the temple. Then next week maybe they was down to 70. And then next week maybe down to 20. And then next week maybe down to 10. And just 2. And then finally it's like, ain't no sense in coming. It's just going to be us 2 working on it. And then they started working on the temple. They started focusing inward. And they put their own work on their own ways, and that's how their ways got established. So when you commit your works to the Lord, your ways will be established. So we've got to work. It says, for I am with you. See, he doesn't tell you to work and then he sends you out on your own. He tells you to work, and he says, I'm with you. My oldest son just got made team lead in his maintenance that he's been working at. He's 22. Been there for about a year and a half, and it's just moving up quickly. And matter of fact, they had promised him the position months ago, but they were scared to give it to him because he was so young. So they finally gave it to him, and I talked to him last week. I said, how's it going? He says, man, I love it. I don't have to do as much work. I can say, you do it, you do it, you do this, you do this. And I said, you know what? God doesn't do that way, does he? See, God tells us what to do, but then God says, I'm with you. God says, hey, I want you to go and I want you to minister to your neighbors. Well, guess what? I'm going to go with you. And guess what? I'm even going to go before you. See, that's what we don't understand sometimes, that when God calls us to do these works of service, to do these works of ministry, that God has went before us and has prepared a way. And we talked about this last night. Praying for the opportunities so that we may see the opportunities as Esther for such a time as this. That God gives us these opportunities to worship Him, to serve Him, and to better the kingdom, to give Him honor and glory. So we want to do these things. We want to do this. His word, for I am with you, declares the Lord of hosts. Now, verse 5, I love it. According to the covenant that I made with you when you came out of Egypt. Now, brothers and sisters, they just didn't come out of Egypt 40 years earlier. It's been hundreds of years since they came out of Egypt. And God is still honoring His covenant He made with them. He said, I'm going to be with you always. And that's what He's honoring. He says, my spirit remains in your midst. Fear not. I understand there's a lot of fears we open back up. People still scared to go out to eat. People still to go be in church settings. There's a lot of fear, but we need to fear not because God is in control. God will see us through. Be strong. Work. Fear not. Verse 6. For thus says the Lord of hosts, yet once more in a little while I will shake the heavens and the earth and the sea and the dry land. Take a minute before we get to that. I got a little story I want to tell you about when I was studying this. It came to mind. Verse 5. According to the covenant I made with you when you came out of Egypt. In other words, He's telling them, who remembers what the temple used to be like? And now He's saying, I want to continue this covenant with you that I made with you back in Egypt. Who can remember this covenant? Well, nobody was alive that was back in Egypt. But it had been passed down from generation to generation to generation. So it was fresh on their mind. They knew the covenant that God had made with them. They knew the promise God had made with them that He would not leave. Now, I think about an old story that a pastor told me about an old married couple in a pickup truck. Now, y'all remember pickup trucks that used to have the big seats where your lady could sit right next to you. You could have your hand on the wheel and your arm around your lady. Just crazy. Looking for a dirt road to ride down. Just enjoying yourself. Well, the elderly couple was riding, and she said, you remember when we were young and we used to sit right up next to each other. And now I'm way over here by the door, and you're way over there by the door. The old man thought for a little bit, and he said, looked at him and said, I haven't moved. And so I think this is what God is telling the Israelites as He's trying to remember what it was like. God is saying, I haven't moved. You moved. There's been several stories from the leading out of Egypt. They have been led to captivity and the bondage from the problems and the times they have left God, and they have moved away next to that cushion seat, next to the driver with God's arm around them and protecting them. And we have moved over next to the door, hugging the door like we're scared to ride them. We need to get back to putting our trust and faith in God. We need to remember what it was like when we first got saved. Do you remember that day? Do you remember that time? Oh man, you just felt that was the cleanest I ever had. And the cleanest I ever will be. Is when I accepted Jesus Christ. There's coming a day when I get to be in glory. There's coming a day that I'll be the cleanest I can ever be in here. But I can remember that time. I remember that excitement. I can remember that just ready to tell somebody what God had done for me. Ready to share what God has brought me through and shown me and taught me. And I was ready to learn. I was like a sponge. I just wanted to soak up all the knowledge that God could give me and just anything I could learn about God. Am I like that today? Sadly to say, I'm not as strong as I was then. You know, and I don't have excuses, but there's the world that we live in. I have a family now, but that's no excuse to let the passion you have for God dwindle. So I want to ask you, do you remember what it was like to worship in the sanctuary? Do you remember what it was like 10, 20, 30 years ago to worship with your brothers and sisters in Ochlocknee Baptist Church? Well, let's look at here and let's see the verse 7. It says, and I will shake all nations so that the treasures of all nations shall come in, and I will fill this house with glory, says the Lord of hosts. So he's telling them, this temple that you're rebuilding, I'm going to bring all the treasures and I'm going to fill it with glory. That's what God's telling us, brothers and sisters. That when we go back into that sanctuary, and we go back into worship, that God is going to fill it with all his glory. Verse 8 says, the silver is mine and the gold is mine, declares the Lord of hosts. The latter glory of this house shall be greater than the former, says the Lord of hosts. What a promise you and I have. What a promise God gives us, that if we commit our works to the Lord, our ways will be established. If we be strong and we fear not, the latter days are going to be greater than the former. That means the best times are ahead. If you and I can commit ourselves to the works of the Lord, commit ourselves in bringing honor and glory to his name and further the kingdom, the better times are coming, the greater times are coming. When we get back in this first Sunday in June, it's going to be awesome in there. Jim, man, you ready to get back in that baby grand, right? He mentioned that the other day. He's ready to get back in that baby grand. I'm ready to get back there and just see all you new kids. Because, man, I love this view here. I love this packed fellowship hall. This is great. But you know what? We can remember what it was like in there. It's just going to be so much greater. And God has promised us to be strong. Fear not. And then it says, and in this place I will give peace, declares the Lord. So they hadn't come from peace. They had been coming from being brought, sent to captivity, sent home, brought back to captivity, sent home. Wars and wars and wars, captives and captives and captives. They hadn't had the peace. But God declares his peace. Now this peace God is declaring is not essentially an earthly peace. We're going to see this in the latter sermons as we study those later in the next month. That it's a heavenly peace. Haggai is to go and to be the prophet and start prophesying about the end of time, God coming and Christ coming and saving his people. But my encouragement for you today is remember the times that we had in the past. Be strong. Fear not. And the greater times will come. The latter days will be greater than the former. The best times are upcoming. Let us pray. this place will go and be the church wherever you may send us and scatter us about. In our families, in our neighborhoods, in our work, school, we'll be the church. We'll be the hands and the feet of you, Lord. Bless each and every one that's here. Let us remember what it was like, Lord, but let us commit our works to you. Be strong. Fear not, for better days are coming. And the latter will be better than the former. But we pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Stand and turn to page 414. Page 414. Softly and
God bless you. Have a wonderful day. Remember, tune in tonight at 6 o'clock. Can't tune in at 6. Catch it on